I'm Madeline, founder of britishlarder.co.uk, and today I'm going to show you how to make a baked cherries and almond cupcake with a mascarpone frosting. For the baked cherries, we will need 400 grams of fresh or frozen cherries stoned and cut in half, 40 grams of caster sugar, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Firstly, we're going to bake the cherries in the oven at 200 degrees, so preheat the oven. 400 grams of cherries in a large mixing bowl, so that the cinnamon, sugar and cherries befriend themselves and become all happy and top. Then I'm going to spread this on a lined baking tray. Make sure that you scrape out the bowl. I use a nice plastic scraper for that as well, to get all the lovely flavours together. Spread it on the baking tray. The cherries is going in the oven at 200 degrees, and I do that for 20 minutes. Do stir it once or twice during the baking time. Next, we're going to make the batter. For the cupcake batter, we will need 250 grams of plain flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, a pinch of salt, 100 grams of caster sugar, 2 medium free-range eggs, the zest of 1 lemon, 120 milliliters or grams of milk, 50 grams of unsalted butter, and 80 grams of marzipan. I first loosen up the eggs by whipping them on their own, and then I'm going to add the caster sugar. This way you sort of get a little bit of volume first before you add the sugar. Then it will become really nice and fluffy and pale in colour. While the egg is whipping up with the sugar until a really nice fluffy sabayon, I'm going to melt the butter. I'm now going to add the melted butter to the milk, and then I'm going to add the milk and butter mixture to the egg mixture. I'm using a fork to make sure that the butter doesn't solidify and cool down too quickly. I'm now going to sift in the flour, the baking powder and bicarb of soda. Once I've done that, I'm now going to add the zest of 1 lemon. Use a large scooped spoon or spatula to gently fold the flour into the whipped eggs and melted butter mixture. And you can use a metal spoon, or you can also use a spoon with holes in. Just use gentle actions. Don't over whip the batter or over mix the batter actually. Our cake batter is now ready to be placed into the cupcake cases. To transfer the batter into a piping bag with ease, I always fold the piping bag over a glass or large measuring cup like so, and then I can use 2 hands to transfer my cake batter to the piping bag. It's those moments when you wish you had 3 hands. I'm going to fill the cupcake cases halfway first. Apply a little bit of pressure at the back. Make sure that you pinch it with your fingers at the front, otherwise they do run away a little bit. I'm going to spoon a couple of the baked cherries. Try not adding the liquid. The liquid we're going to use a little bit later on to garnish our cupcakes with. A couple of bits of cherries in the middle. Now I'm just going to top that with a bit of marzipan. Now I'm going to top it up with a little bit more of the batter. Tiny little bit. And finally I'm going to add the rest of my marzipan. cupcakes are now ready to go into the oven. I bake them at 180 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Use a dry cloth to take the tray out of the oven and cool them on a cooling rack. It's very important to make sure that the cupcakes are completely cool and cold before you put the frosting and the baked cherries on top.